Welcome to Adding Dollars. In this video, I'll be going over how much you could have made if you used the wheel strategy on Netflix stock. I'll be testing this over a 1-year period and showing you the backtest results. Before I jump into it, if you're new to the wheel strategy or covered calls and cash secured puts, then make sure to pause the video and check out the videos in the description. Now let's go ahead and jump into it. Just a quick recap of the wheel strategy that I'm backtesting. I will be selling weekly options expiring every Friday and trading one contract at a time. If you want more details on the wheel strategy or the specific backtest parameters, then check out the videos in the description. Now that we know the strategy we're backtesting, here are the results. I've written some code using the Quant Connect platform to backtest the strategy, and this screen shows the results. This is a backtest starting at about April 1st, 2023 up to about April 1st, 2024. The main numbers to focus on here are the equity and the return percentage. The equity in this case is the total amount of money you would have if you closed out any open positions at the end of the testing time period. So in this case, we started with an equity of $70,000 at the start of the time period, and it looks like we are ending with about $81,273 or a profit of about $11,273. That is slightly different than the net profit here because this net profit only takes into account the amount that you earn from selling the various options and doesn't take into account closing any open positions at the end of the time period. So mainly focus on this equity number and then the return percentage, which would be your profit divided by the equity in this case. So it looks like you would have made about 16% using the wheel strategy on Netflix stock over this 1-year time period. Couple other numbers I always like to look at are the max drawdown. So this is the maximum amount that your total equity would have been drawn down during this time period. So in this case, it looks like the max drawdown was about negative 8.7%. And the other number I like to look at is the win and loss ratio. So the number of trades that resulted in a profit versus the number of trades that resulted in a loss. So in this case, the loss rate is 19% and the win rate was 81%. As always, I also like to compare the wheel strategy against the buy and hold strategy. So jumping over to this chart, we can see the return percentage for the buy and hold strategy over a very similar time period. In this case, if you would have bought Netflix at the start of the time period and held until the end of the time period, it looks like you would have been up about 77%, whereas using the wheel strategy, we only had a return of 16%. And this blue line here shows the buy and hold strategy for the S&P 500. So if you would have bought the S&P 500 at the start of the time period and held it until the end of the time period, you would be up about 21.82%, which again is still higher than the 16% from using the wheel strategy. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see similar analysis on other stocks, feel free to leave that down below, or if you have any questions, leave that in the comments as well. And if you want to help support the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.